Hello there you guys, welcome to another one of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current latest news. As Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as we all know, is looking for reinforcements to get into the squad. Reportedly he's going to get £50 million to spend, as we all currently know, as he did confirm. But as we all know, Manchester United have got a few potential targets, as we all know. I think we still need to strengthen up defensively. We're still in search for a defensive midfielder. I still think we potentially need a winger as well. So there's lots to discuss about on this current video today. So we know the rumours are coming out in the press about Koulibaily. Reportedly, I think he does want to make the Manchester United move as Koulibaly after, suggestions were stirred up yesterday, and it put the Manchester United fans in meltdown and lifted the mood even more in the Manchester United fans. That reportedly he had responded to an Instagram post that Paul Pogba put on. Paul Pogba was explaining that about supporting him and about the racism and stuff like that. And actually, Koulibaly had replied to this, and this put the mood in the Manchester United fans. It lifted the mood up in the Manchester United fans by saying, see you soon, bro." So that line he said with the response, could that be a significant sign that he's into Manchester United? As the Napoli president, though, did confirm that potentially they're not willing to sell him in the January transfer window, and I think it could take a fee of around over £100 million for Manchester United to get the player. I think it has said in the press that we are going to actually go for him in the summer, and we're willing to pay over £100 million for the player. We know potentially, it says like a week or so ago, that we know he's under contract with Napoli till 2023, as we all know, and he's been a potential Manchester United target. But potentially he did sign a deal, reportedly, but this new deal doesn't include a release clause. It doesn't include a release clause currently, Koulibaly's new deal. But I think he'd be a good leader in our backline. I really do. He's strong, he's quick, he's got a lot of tenacity about his play, as we all know. And in the process, we've had 3 bids turned down for the player. At the moment, the recent one was £95 million, as the Napoli president had confirmed this £95 million bid had been turned down. But leader in our backline. He's got a good pedigree in Europe. He's delivered the goods very well for Napoli. His passing accuracy is absolutely fantastic. He's got a lot of tenacity about his play. He adapts every area of his game very well. And I think he would be a fantastic signing. If we did get the sign of the player, he would be a major signing, as we all couldn't know. Because when we had Mourinho, the board weren't backing some of the players that Mourinho wanted to get him, because he only got 3 players last summer, as we all couldn't know. Maguire and all that, Mourinho wanted him, he didn't get him. Koulibaly didn't get him. Being interested in the likes of Toby Alderweireld, as we all know. But as I said, Koulibaly's under contract with Napoli until 2023. But I think he'd look good if you put him alongside Bailly and Lindelof. I think he really would. He'd really make an impact with Koulibaly. As I said, Napoli only paid £7 million for him from Genk, and he has grown and developed very well. But this Instagram post, his response to Paul Pogba about the support and the racism, this could be a sign that he's coming to Old Trafford. But he said like 6-7 days ago that he was happy at Napoli. He wanted to win silverware with Napoli, as he was saying. But I think he is considering the move, because I think he would like to come and play in the Premier League. It'd be good for him to come and experience the Premier League. As I said, Koulibaly, I think he'd be a good leader in our back line. I really do. Man United have held talks. Ed Woodward has had discussions with the Napoli officials over this, and he's essentially a world-class central defender, and he really would be a good signing, because we've got Bailly, who's got great potential. We've got Lindelof, who's playing well this season. We've got Jones. He's injury prone, but when he gets them run of games, he's really good. And, we've got Marcus Rojo there as a backup option as well. I think he's still injured at the moment, but you can play as a left wing back, you can play him as a full back, and you can play him as a centre back as well. We've got Chris Smalling there, so we have still got a lot of options defensively. But Koulibaly would just fit the agenda. Absolutely fantastic. But we know the rumours are still going on about it. But according to the Napoli president, they're not willing to do any business in this January transfer window. So reportedly, I think he wants to move to Manchester United. As I said, there's another central defender that Man United have been interested in. We know we've heard the rumours about Toby Alderweireld, that he's been linked with a move to Manchester United. Toby Alderweireld, as I said, he's nowhere near on the same levels as Koulibaly, as we all know, but he adapts I have concerns about him. I do have reservations about him. He's lost the pace a little bit. I think he needs to adjust his game more. There's been no sign of him signing a new contract with Tottenham. Tottenham have actually confirmed that they're going to extend his contract by a further year until 2020, but they're including a £25 million release clause in this for Toby Alderweireld. Man United, of course, were in discussions last summer to get their player on the board, but potentially, We're demanding too much money for the player. But potentially, yeah, he's available next summer. He's Toby Alderweireld, as I said. And, he's Premier League proven he's Toby Alderweireld. I think he'd be a good leader in our back line. Would Alderweireld, Tottenham still know, obviously, how much of a central player he is. Because they've still got other options at the back. They've got Davinson Sanchez, they've got Vertonghen, and they've got Serge Aurier, as we all know, with Tottenham. But as I said, Man United being linked with a player, and he's got a 25 million release clause for next summer. He's been in the Premier League good 4 or 5 years, is it now, or something like that. So potentially another player Manchester United being interested in. We're keeping track on Eddie Metellio, that Porto central defender. He is only young. As I currently said, he's the player. He's been in the senior team I think a couple of years now as a player. Reportedly, he's got a 40-odd million release clause with Eddie Metellio, and reportedly Manchester United been keeping track with him. We've also been still interested in Inter Milan's Milan Skriniar. As we all know, he's been mentioned quite a few times. He's Inter Milan player. I think he's still got 4 years left on his current deal as a player. But reportedly, Manchester United have been interested in him, and he was the best Slovakian under-21 player back in 2016 as well. So potentially Manchester United have been interested in him, but I still potentially think we need a defensive midfielder, someone who's quick and tenacious and fast. But I think Lindelof's okay. I think De Gea's okay. Luke Shaw's okay. I think potentially we need a winger as well. Because I think potentially there's still improvements needed in the squad. I know we're doing really, really well. We've got 3 wins out of 3, as we all know, under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. 12 goals scored, as we all know. And Pogba is playing absolutely fantastic, providing, scoring goals, as we all know. There's like 2 plays in 1, when he's in that kind of form, Paul Pogba. And potentially he's expressed himself really, really well as his Paul Pogba scoring goals, as I said. I think he looks better in a number 10, in my opinion, does Paul Pogba, to be quite honest with you. But he had 4 good years with Juventus as well. I think if we'd have still had Mourinho, Paul Pogba would have left. But I think he's going to stay now because obviously we've got Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I think Rashford is mainly number 9 in my opinion. Martial's a left winger. But I still think there's potential key areas in the team where we do need reinforcements and, where we do potentially, need to strengthen up, as I currently said. But Koulibaly's made like 188 appearances for Napoli. But if you were to get a deal over the line for him, he would be an absolutely sensational signing, as we all know. But potentially, we do look a better team. We scored 12 goals in 3 games, as we all know, and potentially, the team are getting fullbacks out of the pitch. We're playing with creativeness, creating chances. The pass accuracy is much, much better. We're retaining more possession as well. So there's more dramatic improved stats, than we had under Jose Mourinho. But as I said, we're playing really, really well. Solskjaer's likes the attacking philosophy. He likes the width as well, and we are playing the United way, and we're playing the way that we used to play under Alex Ferguson, as we all currently know. We're scoring goals, we're creating chances, getting fullbacks out of the pitch, very precise on the ball, scoring goals, as I said, a lot of tenacity about his play. We're looking, there's movements very, very good, there's combinations very, very good. Rashford's playing well, as we all know. Martial, as well, is playing well. Rashford's been United lad since the age of 7 years old. He's been United player since the age of 7. He's progressing up the ranks really, really well, as Marcus Rashford, as we all currently know. He got a goal and assist against Bournemouth. Pogba got 2 goals and assist against Bournemouth. He got 2 or 3 assists against Cardiff, and he got 2 goals against Huddersfield. So he's been absolutely fantastic as Paul Pogba. But I think the whole team are gelling together. They're communicating very, very well, and that's praise to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for what he's demanded to them players to do. And they've gone out there and done it, as I said. But as I said, the expectations for this year is to get us up there competing with the likes of City and Liverpool, and get us up there competing for silverware, as we all couldn't know. Whether we get any signings in this window, I do know. Potentially, I do think we're not in any rush to get any permanent deals just as yet. But I've just said there's a few areas where Manchester United need to we need to bolster our squad up, as we all know. But as I'm saying, Solskjaer wants the job on a full-time basis, as he has currently said. Who's to say that he won't get the contract, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? You never know. Obviously, he loves it here. He knows the culture of the club. He knows the traditions of the club, and he knows the club inside out, does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as we all know, because he was a great, great player for 11 years, won 6 honours and all that, and he's got the team, playing really, really well. He also scored in 1999 final as a player, and he was a super sub. Was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, of course, but we know obviously the club obviously are still recruiting a full-time manager to come in at the end of the season, as we all know. Potentially, there's been a few names mentioned. We know Pochettino's been mentioned. He's still one of the favourites, reportedly. Zinedine Zidane's been mentioned, but I think Solskjaer could get the job on a full-time basis because he knows Man United, he knows some of the players from the reserve team. He watched them go up, as he currently has said. We've got Newcastle tonight. I think Sanchez is going to be in contention for the game tonight, definitely, after he suffered a hamstring injury as well. Hopefully tonight he'll bring Fred and Dalot into the team, or at least bring one of them into the team, as we all know. Rashford, I think he's going to be... I'm not sure what's happening with Rashford. Reportedly, he suffered a groin injury against Bournemouth, so he actually could be missing tonight. I'm not too sure. We know Smalling's still out. It said Rojo, I think, is still injured as well. So he will be making some changes because obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer confirmed that he's going to give everybody the chance. He was talking about rotating. Was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, so he's potentially going to give everybody the chance. And I think this team are going to flourish under Solskjaer. And I think the youth are going to grow and develop, as he currently said. And I think, he's got, the team he wanted the team to express themselves, and they have done that. This is the attacking football, we want to see. And it's really, really good to see, as I said. And it's really, really good to see. But yeah, we're still thinking about recruiting a new manager at the end of the season. We know potentially Mauricio Pochettino's number one. But I said regarding Mauricio Pochettino, I don't think he'll come to United because I think he's happy at Tottenham. He's fully committed to Tottenham. I know he hasn't won out in terms of silverware as a manager, but he understands the Premier League. He's good at developing young players. He's Pochettino. He has got a 5-year deal with Tottenham, as we all know. He's been managing since 2009, Pochettino, as we all know. And potentially, he played like 18 years in his playing career, did Mauricio Pochettino, but it would cost Man United around £40 million to recommend him in at the end of the season. But we could save that money and get a signing with that money. But I think he's happy at Tottenham anyway. He's a rare speculation, but he's Premier League proven, and he spent like £50 million at Tottenham since 2014. But I think he's happy at Tottenham, so I don't think he's got any intentions of coming to United. Zinedine Zidane, I think, will come in my opinion, at the end of the season if Solskjaer doesn't get the job on a full-time basis, because Zinedine Zidane's obviously, the suggestions had stirred up when he met up with one of the Manchester United ambassadors, which was Mikael Silvestre, who was a great player for us for 9 years. And that stirs up suggestions. And he has been in talks. Man United have been in talks. And he's been in talks about coming to managing the Premier League, because I think he's destined to come and manage in the Premier League is Zinedine Zidane. Potentially he's never played or managed in the Premier League, Zinedine Zidane, but he's got a good managerial CV. He stepped down as Real Madrid manager back in May, so he has been managerless now for like over 6 months. But I think he's potentially destined to come and manage in the Premier League is Zinedine Zidane as well. But there's been other options that have been mentioned. There's Laurent Blanc that's been mentioned, of course, as he updated you on. We know the Juventus manager had been mentioned the other week in the press as well. But also potentially as well, another name got mentioned the other day as he updated you on one of my videos. Another name got mentioned. It was Marco Rose, the current Red Bull Salzburg manager. Reportedly, I think we're going to use him as a backup if we fail to get Pochettino. Reportedly, this Marco Rose is a Red Bull Salzburg manager. He used to manage a Red Bull Salzburg youth team as well. Throughout his playing career, I think he played for VfB Stuttgart. VfB Leipzig, I think, something like that. He played Hangover 96, and he also played Zor 5 in the majority of his playing career. But reportedly, he won the Austrian title with Red Bull Salzburg in his first season, got them to the Europa League semi-final last season, reportedly as well. But reportedly, he's been potentially added onto the shortlist as well. Reportedly, that's just according to what the media said. So he's called Marco Rose. He's German, but he manages the Austrian team Red Bull Salzburg, reportedly. So potentially his name has been mentioned in the current press. But as I said, we've still got a few players. We've got a lot of players coming to end the deals. Solskjaer obviously wants to tie down Martial and David De Gea to new deals at Manchester United, as we all currently know. But potentially there's been rumours as well coming out in the last couple of days, guys, to update you with regarding Ashley Young. Reportedly, it says Inter Milan are interested in Ashley Young. Reportedly, they're keen on getting him on a free transfer at the end of the season. Reportedly, and reportedly they're willing to offer him a 2-year deal, because at the moment Man United have been in talks to sign him a new deal. We've failed to give him that. We've failed an extension to give him that extension at the moment. But it's reportedly said that Inter Milan have been interested in him, Ashley Young. But mainly, Ashley Young's obviously mainly plays at the right back. Obviously, he's our first choice right back, as we all know, is Ashley Young. Obviously, Ashley Young's been here since 2011. He's won every trophy with Manchester United. Apart from the Champions League, of course. I think he's made over like 300 appearances as Ashley Young. Potentially, I would put the lot in. If I was Solskjaer, for Ashley Young. To be quite honest with you. But there's been no sign of him signing another 1-year extension at the club. Ashley Young, he's like now 33 years of age. Is Ashley Young. He mainly, when he was younger, he mainly was a right winger. He played as a right winger for England. He played as a right winger during his Aston Villa days as well. But he mainly gets played at right back. Now and again, he plays at left back sometimes, does Ashley Young. But obviously as well, so potentially it's heading to Milan had been interested in him. So that's some news to update you on. Reportedly, Valencia as well. Could he leave Manchester United? Because he's made like over 300 appearances since he's been here, as we all know. Potentially struggled for consistency and form this season, as Antonio Valencia, to be quite honest with you. He was injured early on this season with a mouth injury. He hasn't played in the Premier League, for a long, long time, Antonio Valencia. He's been at the club since 2009, currently the ex-Wigan man, as we all know, and he's won everything here, of course, apart from the Champions League as well as Antonio Valencia. I think he's same age as Ashley Young. I think he's 33, but Solskjaer did confirm that he still probably will remain the captain. Solskjaer did confirm his representatives has been discussions about potentially, where his future lies at Manchester United. Antonio Valencia's obviously he had disputes with Jose. He had the dispute with Jose Mourinho as well. But Jose Mourinho had disputes with a lot of the top players, especially Paul Pogba, and he didn't get on with the board and all that. But potentially there was speculation about Antonio Valencia leaving as well. I think he's made over 300 appearances, since he's been here. He's obviously no longer first choice right back now, Antonio Valencia. It's Ashley Young that's potentially our first choice right back. But I still think we could potentially see quite a few players go. I think tonight in the Newcastle game, Jones will be coming in for the suspension of Eric Bailly. I think Darmian may be starting as well. I don't think Darmian's got a future at Manchester United. I do actually think, Matteo Darmian, will leave Man United. He's not getting the game time. He's coming to an end of his contract as well. He's Matteo Darmian. There's been a few Italian teams interested in Matteo Darmian. As we all know. So I think potentially, Darmian could leave as well. But as I said, the right mentality's in the team now. Solskjaer's got them playing really, really well. I think we're going to come to beat Newcastle away tonight, to be quite honest with you. I can't wait till like when we play PSG in February. I can't wait till we play Liverpool and Chelsea at home as well. It's going to be interesting to see, how we perform in them current games. But yeah, Koulibaily would be a great sign. Obviously when we had Jose Mourinho, we wasn't getting his main priority targets, as we all currently know. We wasn't getting the signings we wanted to get in because the board weren't backing him. We haven't been getting as long, as signings that we wanted for a long time, especially under Mourinho, as we all know. We got Matic, and I think to be fair to Matic, he's done well in the 3 games so far with Solskjaer, but as I said, he's slow. I have reservations about him. He doesn't have any tempo to his play, but he can pass the ball. That is why I said I think we need a defensive midfielder that's quick, fast, and tenacious. And Matic is none of that. He's too slow. And so to his Fellaini as well. He's too slow as well. I don't see how he's going to fit in this new Manchester United regime, to be quite honest with you, Marian Fellaini. I don't see how he's going to fit in this new Man United regime, Marian Fellaini, and I do think he will leave Manchester United. He's been here since 2013. We paid obviously 27, was it, £1 million for him from Everton. So we've had him since the David Moyes era. He's had the odd good games here and there. He's good at winning headers, but he's obviously too slow, is Marian Fellaini, as we all currently know. But as I said, Solskjaer's Fred, I think he needs more game time to get to his potential best. I think Pereira needs more game time, which he's going to get under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And, Mata's going to get more starts from the start, as I said. They're all going to get a chance, as is currently confirmed. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as we all currently know. But who's to say he won't get the new contract, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? People say he hasn't got enough managerial experience. He's had a bit of managerial experience with Cardiff, but he didn't do good there. He didn't succeed at Cardiff. He won 2 Norwegian titles with Molde, as we all currently know. But yeah, so reportedly Koulibaily wants the Manchester United move. I don't think we'll get a deal done for him in this January window, to be quite honest. I think it will be in the summer, because I don't think Napoli are willing to do any business in this window. But it could take a bid in the excess of around over 100 million to get him anywhere. And, he would be the world's most expensive defender, would Koulibaily, as we all know. But I think he'd be a fantastic sign. He'd lead the lines very, very well. He's got good physical attributes. He's very, very good in the air, and he's still got a lot of years ahead of him, as Koulibaily, as we all know. But Man United, we've got a few potential targets on our radar. As I did update you, with Douglas Costa, we've been interested in him, and he's a very, very good winner. He's Douglas Costa, as we all know. He's strong, he's quick, very, very good in the air. good at putting crosses into the box, as we all know, and he's got a lot of tenacity about his play. Douglas Costa, as I said, his crossing's very, very good, but reportedly it said Man United last year had a £54 million bid turned down for the player. I don't see us getting a deal over the line for him, to be quite honest with you, but I think he would be good. But since Ronaldo's arrival at Juventus, Douglas Costa has obviously fallen down the pecking order. Juventus triggered his release clause and paid £36 million for him. Paid £36 million for him, as we all currently know. But as I said, he's now permanently Juventus. He was on a 1-year loan deal with Juventus last season, the player, but this season now he's permanently he's permanently a Juventus player. Is Douglas Costa, and I thought he was very, very good when he was young in his prime with Shakhtar Donetsk. He had 5 good years there. He was good with Bayern Munich as well, and he actually began his career with Gramero, did Douglas Costa, but potentially Man United have been interested in him. I still think we need the right-hand side addressing, to be quite honest with you, but I think we still need a backup striker as well, to be quite honest with you. But as I said, now the players are playing to the potential level, which is very, very good to see. We look a total different team. The style of players changed. The confidence is in the team. Solskjaer's got the team motivated. It's very, very good to see, and hopefully we can get us back up there challenging and competing for silverware, as we all know. I still think we need a couple of signs. I don't think this team is good enough to win the league just as yet. I think we need a couple of signs in there for us to have any chance of the league next season, especially. So that's my opinions on it, as I said. But as I said, a lot of money's being put into this team. Jose Mourinho spent £400 all over on 11 players on this team, and there's about 700-800 million that's been spent since Ferguson retired, as we all know. But I think this team's going to be, and we've seen players come in and we've seen players leave, but I think this team's going to become a replica of what the team did and achieved under Alex Ferguson. Obviously, 27 years of success. I think Ferguson won 38 trophies, as Manchester United manager, of course. But the rumours are coming out now. The January window's obviously open now. Obviously, as you updated you earlier on, the first signing has been made. Chelsea confirmed the signing of 20-year-old Christian Pulisic from Borussia Dortmund. He will be initially loaned, as he did confirm. He will be loaned back to Borussia Dortmund until the end of the season. But reportedly, it's confirmed on Chelsea's website. It got confirmed on social media and Twitter as well that Chelsea have completed Chelsea and Borussia Dortmund have come to an agreement on a £58 million fee. So it's been announced that he's officially a Chelsea player, but he won't be joining until the summer because he's getting loaned back to Borussia Dortmund. But Christian Pulisic is a very, very good player. I think he'll be a very, very good signing, for Chelsea, to be quite honest with you. He can play attacking mid, he can play on the wing, but Chelsea will have to decide, where they're going to play him, what position they're going to put him in. Are they going to put him on the wing? Are they going to put him more centrally? Christian Pulisic. But I think he'll do well in the Premier League. He's always dreamed of playing in the Premier League, Christian Pulisic, as we all know. He was under contract with Borussia Dortmund until 2020. There were no signs of him signing a new contract with Borussia Dortmund, and I think he did want to make the move to the Premier League. Chelsea have agreed personal terms. The fee is around £58 million that's been agreed between Chelsea and Dortmund. Obviously, now Dortmund will have to identify a replacement for Pulisic leaving, of course, but Pulisic, I think, is looking forward to it. He's happy joining Chelsea, as we all know. But as I said, Liverpool may be disappointed missing out on him. Arsenal reportedly, had a £35 million bid turned down for the player as well, Christian Pulisic. But Liverpool were interested in him because Liverpool, Klopp's worked with the player in the past, and maybe Klopp was keen on reuniting with the player because Klopp used to work with him at Borussia Dortmund. The player is American, and reportedly he does score goals. He does provide assists as well, so he's good at creating. I've watched Christian Pulisic a few times. I've watched him play for the US a few times. I've watched him in his couple of games for Borussia Dortmund. Obviously, he was no longer first choice anywhere this season. He'd fall down the pecking order a bit, but he's only 20 years of age. He's got good young age talent, and he's got years and years ahead of him to grow and develop more. And he's coming to experience the Premier League, play amongst different players, and see how he progresses under Sarri. Some people may think he could be a flop, Christian Pulisic, because he's grown and developed. As I said, he's grown and developed very, very well, progressing up the ranks, and made his senior debut for Borussia Dortmund in 2016. He made his senior debut at just the age of 17, did Christian Pulisic, as we all know. He was Borussia Dortmund 4 seasons. He won the German Cup as well in 2017, And some of his stats I've looked at are supposed to be very, very good. But potentially he was there 4 seasons with Borussia Dortmund. He won the German Cup in 2017. Of course, I think he made 115 appearances in all competitions. Since he got into the senior team of Borussia Dortmund. I think he made 81 appearances in the Bundesliga. I think he played in 20 Champions League games as well, did the player. So yeah, he looks a very, very good player. But as I said, potentially Chelsea have threw potential targets on their radar because they could see a few potential targets leave. But now with the arrival of Christian Pulisic, could that mean Eden Hazard could depart Chelsea? Probably, the Chelsea will probably see Pulisic as a long-term replacement for Eden Hazard because obviously Eden Hazard now is in his mid-20s. He's Chelsea's best player they've got, and Chelsea fans reportedly are now convinced that Eden Hazard could leave now due to that Chelsea have actually signed Christian Pulisic. Reportedly, it's coming out in the press saying he's edging closer to the Real Madrid move, reportedly. But we know Chelsea have been in talks of trying to secure him a new contract with Chelsea, Eden Hazard. But at the moment, he hasn't really committed his future at the moment, Eden Hazard. As we all know, he's very experienced, Eden Hazard. He's been in the Premier League since 2012, as we all know. But as yet, there's been no sign of him signing a new contract. He's scored over 100 goals in the for Chelsea, as Eden Hazard, as we all know. But close ball control, very, very good. Very, very good in the air. Adapts himself very, very well. And mainly, recently, Sarri has been putting Eden Hazard up front, as we all know. As I said, so whether Eden Hazard stays or goes, I do not know. But reportedly now, with the arrival of Pulisic, that could see Eden Hazard go. Also, too, Callum Hudson for Chelsea. I think he could go as well because he's not getting the game time. He's lost game time. There's been no sign of him signing a new contract with Chelsea as well. But as I said, Chelsea will be delighted with this signing. It's the first signing made in the January window. Chelsea, obviously, he's getting loaned back to Borussia Dortmund as it has confirmed. But Chelsea website has confirmed the signing. It's £58 million. But I knew Chelsea were going to get him with the reports were coming out in the last couple of weeks. The German press were reporting that Chelsea, have agreed, to get Christian Pulisic. I think from the player's perspective, he did prefer the move to Chelsea than he did Liverpool, potentially, to be quite honest with you. But he's looking forward to it. It's Christian Pulisic. It's confirmed today, £58 million deal has been agreed. And there will be more deals to come, and we that'll be confirmed, and we'll be updating you on this channel, as we always do, as I said. But he had a contract with Dortmund until 2020. There were no signs of him signing a new contract, to be quite honest with you. But he played 81 games, with Borussia Dortmund in the Bundesliga. He played 20 games in Champions League. I think he made like 115 appearances in all competitions. Did the player, and potentially he's also good at providing assists. He's also good at creating chances, as well as he has proven during his time in Germany with Borussia Dortmund. But it will be good for him to come and experience the Premier League. As I said, Chelsea spent. They were the second biggest spenders, during the course of last summer. Was Chelsea, of course. But they've got we know they've got a few other potential targets as well. I do think actually Alvaro Morata is actually going to leave Chelsea. To be quite honest with you, I think Morata's going to leave. Chelsea paid £60 million for him. He hasn't really proven himself in the Premier League, Alvaro Morata, as we all currently know. He spent most of his playing career in Madrid. He had a 2-year spell with Juventus as well, Alvaro Morata. But obviously he's no longer Sarri's first choice, Alvaro Morata. I think he will leave Alvaro Morata. To be quite fair, because he's obviously no longer Sarri's first choice. And we know that Chelsea have been, targeting Gonzalo Higuain. As we all currently know, they've been targeting Gonzalo Higuain as a potential swap deal. According to AC Milan, director reportedly, Chelsea haven't made an approach or an initial offer yet. But Chelsea have targeted Gonzalo Higuain, considering that he is like 31 years of age, Gonzalo Higuain. But he's proven to be a prolific goal scorer in the past. He's currently at AC Milan on loan at the moment. AC Milan had to pay £17 million fee, to get him on loan, of course. But when he was young in his prime, very, very good. He's grown and developed very, very well. As I said, he had 6 good years with Real Madrid. He had, 3 good years with Napoli, and Sarri's keen on reuniting, player. And he scored 36 goals in one of his seasons, with Napoli. Juventus then had to fork out £78 million. He had 2 good seasons with Juventus. Chelsea have been in discussions with Juventus and AC Milan, of course, because obviously he's on loan now at AC Milan is Gonzalo Higuain. But there has been rumours about Morata and Gonzalo Higuain as a potential loan exchange swap deal, as what we've reportedly heard in the media. Also, too, as I said, Chelsea also were interested in Real Madrid's Isco. Now, potentially a few teams have actually been interested in him. I think he does prefer the move to Paris Saint-Germain, according to him. Does Isco? Reportedly, it said Man United held talks with his current representatives. Obviously, Isco is a favourite now with Real Madrid, as we all know, under Santiago Solari. He's no longer getting the first team football. I think he wants to push the move away from Real Madrid, as we all know. And I think he wants to move from Real Madrid now, does Isco? He's been there since 2013, so he's grown and developed very, very well. Tenacity, a lot of tenacity about the player, creative, got good physical attributes, and he's a great attacking midfielder. Is Isco. He reportedly has got a 600 million release clause in his contract, and he's under contract with Real Madrid until 2022, I think, or something like that. But reportedly, Chelsea have actually being interested, but now I don't think they're no longer interested. He said reportedly Chelsea were willing to pay 75 million for him, plus offer him £250,000 a week. But due to that, his current representative confirmed they want a bigger, they're demanding bigger wages for the player. He's put Chelsea off, and they're reportedly opt out now for the race for Isco. And he used to play under Manuel Pellegrini during his tenure, with Malaga. He was good at Malaga, when he was young in his prime. He actually began his career with Valencia, mainly played in the Valencia reserve team as well. Did Isco, but I think he wants to make the move. There's quite a lot of teams that are interested in Isco as well, potentially. So, potentially Chelsea still got a few potential targets. Sarri wants to bolster his defensive line, as we all know, as I've already explained to you. Definitely, Cesc Fabregas is going to be definitely leaving Chelsea, but I think he's keen on making his 500th appearance for Chelsea. He's Cesc Fabregas, but he's only got 6 months left on his deal. He's not going to be signing a new deal. He's confirmed he's going to be going abroad. I think he's going to be going to Monaco. I think he's going to reunite with Thierry Henry. He used to play alongside Thierry Henry, did Cesc Fabregas, as we all know. He's been in English football for like 12 years now. Is it 12, 13 years, something like that? I know he had a 3-year spell with Barcelona as well, did Cesc Fabregas. But as I said, well, Premier League proven. He's won trophies since he's been at Chelsea. He's won the FA Cup, the Premier League, and the League Cup as well. He won the League Cup in his first season with Chelsea. Chelsea obviously paid £1 million for him from Barcelona, but whilst he was at Barcelona, he had 3 good years there. He played alongside Xavi and Iniesta. He, won the La Liga there. He won the Copa del Rey there. He won 2 Super Cups. He won the UEFA Super Cup and the FIFA Club World Cup there with Barcelona as well. During his 8 years with Arsenal, he won the FA Cup, and he was very, very good when he was a lot younger in his prime. Cesc Fabregas, to be quite honest with you. But he's also won the European Championship twice with Spain. He's won the FIFA Club World Cup. He's won the FIFA World Cup as well as Cesc Fabregas. But I think he's going to leave Chelsea. I think he's going to go to Monaco. He's favoured now to go to Monaco. We know that AC Milan have reportedly been interested in him as well. So he's going to potentially leave Chelsea as well. So Chelsea could potentially see quite a few of their players go. But there has also been talks today to update you on a bit more United transfer news that reportedly Mesut Ozil has obviously been mentioned in the press reportedly. Ozil's been mentioned in the press reportedly. Now, it did say, was it last year, sometime back in December, that Man United, the book is actually favoured Man United to go on and go sign the German Mesut Ozil. But reportedly now, Man United are no longer favourites to sign the player, because I think actually now Mesut Ozil does actually want to stay with Arsenal. Reportedly, he wants to stay with Arsenal. I think he wants to fight his way into the team, even though I think he's injured now for a long time. He was injured early on this season. A few teams have expressed the interest in him. He signed a new contract back in 2017 with over £350,000 a week. So potentially, I think he's Arsenal's highest paid player. Is Mesut Ozil. As I said, Arsenal would recommend a fee for him if they are willing to sell him. But potentially, Man United are the favourites to sign Mesut Ozil. But he has failed to adapt himself under Emery. He's failed to adapt himself. He's had injury problems this season, and he has been missing quite a lot of Arsenal's keys games as Mesut Ozil. But I think his future is not fully committed just as yet, but I think he still does want to remain at Arsenal, does Mesut Ozil, as I currently said. But as I said, that's what it's just said in the current media as I've just read it up. But he's Premier League proven. He's been in the Premier League since 2013. Of course, he's an ex-Madrid player. He used to work under Mourinho. He's an ex-Schalke player. He's an ex-Werder Bremen player as well. And Arsenal still potentially know how much of an essential player he is to them, as we all know. But potentially, as we all know, that Arsenal obviously It's confirmed that potentially Aaron Ramsey is going to be definitely leaving Arsenal, as we all know. Aaron Ramsey is going to be definitely leaving Arsenal, as we all currently know, because potentially he's been blatantly told that he's not going to be signing a new contract. Aaron Ramsey's been in negotiation, I think, with 5 teams across Europe. I think he's been in talks with the likes of Real Madrid, Juventus, Bayern Munich, Inter Milan, and Paris Saint-Germain. I think Paris Saint-Germain have been interested in him as well. Reportedly, Aaron Ramsey prefers the move to Juventus. I think he will be staying until his contract expires in the summer, Aaron Ramsey. So obviously, Arsenal are in the market to find replacements, because I don't think Umeme has been backed enough. I don't think he's got the right amount of funds, but I think he's looking to bolster his squad up in this January window. He needs to invest. I think he wants to get a central defender in. He's looking for as well. And he's obviously got to look for a replacement for Aaron Ramsey, as we all know. But Aaron Ramsey, as I said, prefers to move to Juventus. It reportedly said that Juventus willing to offer him £7 million per season, plus a 4-year deal, and plus a salary of around £138,000 a week. That came out in the press the other day. But Aaron Ramsey is a box-box midfielder. He's very, very good. He's grown and developed very, very well. Man United have previously been linked with him. Liverpool have previously, been linked with Aaron Ramsey as well. But as I said, he's been at Arsenal over a decade now. He's made over 2 century appearances for Arsenal as Aaron Ramsey. As we all know, he was up the ranks of Cardiff for like 8 years. He became the youngest first-team player ever. I think he only made like 22 appearances for Cardiff anyway, but he's grown and developed very, very well. He has still played the majority of Arsenal's games this season, even though that he knows that he's going to be leaving Arsenal, Aaron Ramsey. So obviously Arsenal are in the market, to try and find potential replacements, because I think attackably Arsenal are very, very good. They've got Aubameyang and Lacazette, that are delivering, the goods to Arsenal. As well, they're delivering the goods to Arsenal. Aubameyang and Lacazette leading the line, scoring goals, as I said. So potentially, obviously, we know that Arsenal are obviously finding replacements for Aaron Ramsey. We know that they've been interested in that Banega, that Sevilla player. Obviously, Umeme had experience of working with that Banega. Banega's obviously, won 2 Europa League with Sevilla. This is his second spell with Sevilla, as we all know. Potentially, he had 1 season with Inter Milan, didn't he? He had a lot of he spent quite a lot of years with Valencia, where he actually, played under Umeme as well. He made 162 appearances, won the Copa del Rey with them as well. He actually began his career with Boca Juniors, but he also had loan spells with Newell's Old Boys and Atletico Madrid. Did the player. He's got an 18 million release clause reportedly. Reportedly, his representatives have been in London to negotiate a deal. Arsenal want to get a deal over the line for the player. According to the recent report I read, though, the player doesn't want to leave Sevilla during midway through the season, reportedly. So he's been a potential Arsenal target, as we all know. Denis Suarez, we mentioned in the press a couple of weeks ago, young player, Barcelona player, and reportedly he got offered to Arsenal for just £14 million. So it was a cut price deal for £14 million, reportedly. His current representatives has tried getting him moved from Barcelona because potentially he's out of favour at Barcelona. He's the player. Potentially Arsenal have been interested in Denis Suarez as a potential replacement for Aaron Ramsey. I don't know much about the player. I've never ever watched him, but I know he used to play for Manchester City in his youth career. He also played for the Celta Vigo reserve team. I think he played for the Barcelona reserve team as well. He also played for Villarreal at one point as well, the player. And now potentially he's at Barcelona, the current player. So reportedly, he got offered to Arsenal for just £14 million, did the player. So obviously Arsenal have also targeted him as well. So So as I did confirm, there'll be more signings made in this January transfer window, as I currently said. But as I updated you, yep, Christian Pulisic has officially signed for Chelsea, as I updated you on my last video, and it'll be a good sign for Chelsea. He may not deliver the goods, he may become a flop, but Chelsea have got to think about, where they're going to play him. Where they're going to play him, whether he's going to be on the wing or whether he's going to be more central, or you can even put him in attacking midfield position, because Chelsea have still got good players. They've got Eden Hazard, who's a good left winger. You can also put him in front, so his versatility is good. They've also got Pedro, that plays on the wing as well of Chelsea, but obviously they've still got players, that are going to leave, I should presume.
But yeah, you know, Chelsea will be happy with his signing. You know, first signing made, Christian Pulisic officially a Chelsea player, and he's happy about this. And the Borussia Dortmund director confirmed that he's happy. He's been destined to come and play in the Premier League, which he's never ever done, and it'd be good to see him, you know, experience new facilities, you know, play amongst different players, and see, you know, how he progresses under Sarri. He may become a flourish at Chelsea, because I thought he did it well at Borussia Dortmund. He progressed up the ranks, and he's only 20 years of age, so Chelsea will, you know, potentially get a lot of years out of him. Could this actually make Eden Hazard leave now? I do not know. We know that he's been linked with a move to Real Madrid, so they wouldn't want to see him as a replacement for Eden Hazard, because if you actually put him alongside Hazard, he'd look really, really good. But as I said, Chelsea will probably see him as a long-term replacement for Eden Hazard, because obviously Pulisic is a lot younger than Eden Hazard, as we all currently know. But he's a flamboyant player of what I've seen of him. He's skillful, he's good in the air, he's good at creating chances, he can provide assists, as he has proven with Borussia Dortmund as well. So potentially, yes. So I think a lot of Chelsea fans will be happy about this. But the question is Eden Hazard going to stay at Chelsea now Christian Pulisic has arrived? But he won't be officially playing for them until the summer anyway, because he's obviously getting loaned back to Borussia Dortmund until the end of the season, as we all know. But he had 4 fantastic years there. As I said, won the German Cup in 2017, had 4 good seasons. He had 4 good seasons with Borussia Dortmund. Yeah, so very, very good young athlete. As I said, good young player. Maybe Chelsea may get more signings in this window. I think they're still looking to get a defender in. You know, as he updated you, there've been talks about Matt Hummels. You know, I think Morata's going to be going. They might get Gonzalo Higuain, because I think he's keen on, you know, going to Stamford Bridge. But as I said, it's only the 2nd of January, so there will be more transfers to be completed. There will be more news to come, as we all currently know. But as I said, yeah, Man United Newcastle tonight. Eric Bailly suspended, so I think Phil Jones will be coming in because he's suspended. Bailly. You know, potentially, I think, you know, he may put a lot in there tonight. Also, I think Sanchez is going to be definitely featuring tonight, so he'll get the chance to prove himself under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, which he's failed to do this season, as we all know. But the main part of this video is about Koulibaily. We'll get some other, while I'm doing this video, we'll get other transfer rumours that are going on as well. To share, I'll give you as much information, you know, as I can. But yeah, Koulibaily, suggestions are stirred up that I think he does want to make the move to Manchester United. I think he would be fantastic, because we've had, you know, great central defenders over the years. As I said, you know, Vidic and Ferdinand were great 2 central defenders. As I said, they were a good partnership in our back line. I think Bailly and Lindelof are a good partnership now in our back line. But if you were to put Koulibaly in that mix, you'd be able to tell the difference how much that defensive line would improve, because he's like 2 players in one. He's Koulibaly, because he's an absolutely sensational player. But as I said, with the suggestions that I've stirred up, you know, with this Instagram post, Pogba discussing about you know, that he has Finney in him, about supporting him and his racism stuff, because he did suffer racial abuse. And, you know, he reacted, did Koulibaly, saying he'll see you soon, bro. So, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Talking on YouTube. What?
I just wondered, don't be floating out there, Charlie. Get this open for a bit of air.
What?
Some fresh air in place.
Where are you going?
Someone gives it some paint for night room.
Oh, yeah. And he said, see you soon, bro. So that could be a suggestion that he actually could be coming to Old Trafford, you know, which is very good to see. I think we'll end up getting a deal for him in the summer, because I think Napoli are reluctant to offload him in this January transfer window. But as I said, he signed a new deal. It doesn't include a release clause, as I said. But we'll see what happens anyway. But yeah, just tuned in. This is about the Koulibaly, mainly the Koulibaly news, and other news that I've updated you on today as well. So drop your comments, like on the channel if you do consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.